All right, we're in section 9.2, percents and proportions. The first thing we need to know is our percent proportion formula. Hopefully you've already written it down. A over B equals P over 100. You need to know that A is the part, and the key word I look for in my statements is the key word is. The key word is. So go ahead and write that next to the definition. And B stands for the whole, and I'm looking for a key word of. And you'll see more what I'm talking about in just a minute. But you need to know the key word for A is, and the key word for B is of. And it kind of makes sense, right? That my numerator would be a part, because we know that numerators, show a part of the denominator. And then the denominator would be B, and that's the whole. Okay, so logically it makes sense just because we know how fractions work. All right, go ahead and write down these definitions. On all three of the examples that we're learning today, we're going to use that formula to plug in our numbers and solve for what we don't know. So in example 1, we're going to start with our formula. A over B equals P over 100. You're going to hear me say that a lot this lesson. All right, and now let's read the statement. It says, what percent of 3 is 1? So again, I'm looking for those key words to tell me which value is my A value and which one is my B value. So which key word was for A? Is. So which number is my is in this statement? 1. Very good. So I'm going to plug in 1 for A. And what do I plug in for B? 3, because that's my of. Equals, I don't know the percentage, over 100. And now I can use whatever method of solving proportions I want to. Everybody paying attention? Okay, so my 3 methods: equivalent ratios, algebra, cross products. Now, here's my word of caution. Sometimes algebra doesn't work. When your variable is in the denominator, algebra is not going to work. Equivalent ratios doesn't always work, but which method does? Cross products. So use that one. You're going to see on all of these that I use cross products because it works every time. We don't have to worry about, oh, is this method going to work or not? All right, so we have 3P equals 100. And then how do we solve for P?
Divide by 3.
Divide both sides by 3. Now this one comes out to a repeating decimal. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. All right, and that's going to be my answer. All right, so I want you to go ahead and do B. Try to do B on your own. All right, so we start with our formula. What did we plug in for A? 18. What do we plug in for B? 30. And P over 100. Do our cross products. And what'd you get for P? 60. All right, 60%. Who got it? 60%. Awesome. Good job, guys. All right, now in example 2, we're just going to use the same formula, except we're just going to solve for a different part of the proportion. All right, so now let's try to figure out what they're asking us to solve for. All right, so it says, what is 32% of 200? So what do you think you're solving for here? No, you already know P. You know P. You know P. You're solving for A. What is? I don't know my is. It says what is, okay? I know my of, and I know my P, my percentage. That's easy. That's a given because it has a percent sign. All right, so we go A over B equals P over 100 equals, I don't know A, over 200 equals 32 over 100. Do you see how we got that? Yeah. All right. It says what is, so I don't know A. I plug in 200 for B and 32 for P. Now I want you to use your cross products and solve. Okay, so what did you get? You got 6,400 equals 100A. Divide both sides. A equals 64. 64, very good. All right, go ahead and finish up the second problem now. All right, so A over B equals P over 100. A over 50 equals 14 over 100. Do my cross products. What'd you get?
8 over 7.
A equals 7. Raise your hand if you got it.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, very good. Good job. All right, guys, last example. In example 3, again, we're using the percent proportion. We're just solving for a different part of the proportion. So now, what are you solving for? B, okay? You can use kind of process of elimination, but it says of what number? So on your homework, these are all going to be mixed together. So you have to be able to pick out, okay, it says of what number, I'm solving for B. If it says what is, I'm solving for A. If it asks what percent, then I'm solving for P. All right, so start off with my formula. Plug in my numbers. 42 over B equals 30 over 100. 30B equals 4,200. Divide both sides, and B is 140. All right, now I want to give you a minute to copy that down, and then I want you to do the second one on your own. All right, so original formula, plug in your numbers. Did y'all do it right? 70 over B. Okay, cross product, 7,000 equals 35B. 200. Who got it? Awesome. Okay, if you understand that, that's everything you need to know for 9.2.